Hello, welcome back to the next video on the Sentra car, electric car conversion. And today I want to show you my progress. I've made quite a lot of progress since the last video. The first thing I want to show you is this. I installed a contact, an outlet with a separate 20 amps switch or disconnect switch, because the arc welder needs a separate 20 amps independent circuit, and also the chargers for the electric cars need 20 amps in a dedicated outlet. So I installed this for the welder, but it's going to work for the charging of the car as well. So I decided to have it ready at this time, 20 amps. So the next thing that I did is I installed the pedal with the voltage that I'm going to use in the controller. I'm going to show you how this works. This cable comes from the pedal, and it's just coming from the pedal directly. This is a multimeter. I'm going to show you how the voltage changed when the pedal is pressed or depressed. For example, let me open the switch. That's the switch, and that's the voltage that it gives me when the pedal is all the way depressed. When I step on the clutch, the accelerator, it sends a signal to the controller. That's all the pedal fully pressed. That's my voltage with the pedal fully pressed. When I press in the middle, that's my voltage. So that's my signal that I'm going to. That's my signal that I'm going to send to the controller. For indicate how much power I need to pass from the batteries to the motor. Something else I did, I relayed all the cables. It turns out that these labels were working very good for a while, but even though the thread is very resistant, this is not, and I lost a few. So I decided to relabel all of the cables with a piece of masking tape. This will be better long lasting, and also many of these cables will not be needed anymore. So what I'm going to do is get some plastic straps and tie them in away from the they don't make any they don't bother me, because many of these I will not use again. Those that I need I already plugged back, and those were mainly in the transmission. The speedometer, the pressure, the oil pressure sensor, all these are already back in place. Also the pressure for the power steering. So all the things that I'm going to need for this conversion are already back in place. Something else I did was to attach the speed cables. They're back in this place. I attached the clutch. This is an hydraulic clutch. This is also back installed. And also I want to show you the jacks. The jacks are now on the wheels instead of the chassis. I put the jacks on the wheels under, so I can align much better the shafts with the transmission. That is something important. I bought an arc welder to start preparing the supports, and this is my arc welder. And it's been so many years since I used one of these, when they used to have separate electrodes, and it is working so much better now, because now they have a cable that fits with this button. Even the welders have changed a lot. This is a good one. Okay, I want to show you also some of the techniques that I used for the manufacturing of my supports. I'll show you the supports in a minute, but some of the tricky parts when you're building the supports are to find the place where the holes are going to be, and since you have the metal, you cannot see where the holes are in the back. So what I did was a piece of plexiglass taken off, and I draw the holes where they're supposed to be, and then I made a template per se. And once I know where the holes are, I can put it on the metal and drill in the exact place. This is something that helped a lot. It's also something that was also very helpful when I was trying to determine the size of the driller for a particular bolt, is to use the same box where the drillers are coming, because you can try with the hole until you find the right driller that you want to use. So this is a fast and easy way to find the right driller. You just keep going until you find the one that doesn't fit, and you just take the next one. For example, this is a perfect one for this type of bolt. It's a nice technique to find the right size to use. Also, this proving to be really helpful, holding the pieces while I was drilling and sanding and whatever. Even though this is one of the cheap workbenches in the market, it is very flexible. It allowed me to work in it made my work so much easier, and these things can even bend the way you need it. So this make my life so much easier. I suggest that at least one of these, even the cheapy ones, can work. You can make a big difference. Also, when I was working on my supports, one of these is essential. This will hold the pieces together for you while you do the welding or while you do the adjusting. This is a great tool to have. It's an investment. So, the progress in the support. I need 3 supports, and I have so far 2 supports. This is what I've done so far. This is the front support. This is going to the motor. This is going to the transmission, and this is going into the rubber support. So this is the first front support. Then this is the front plate that I did. This is going into the front of the motor. This proved to be the most time-consuming task for me, besides doing the adapter plate between the transmission and the motor. So this is where you're going to spend a good time of deal making this. Something I want to mention on this: when I was working, I was always leaving the piece of metal a little bigger than what they have to be, because sometimes they need some adjusting, and if you need some adjusting, like lower this a little bit or moving it up a little bit, you still have some room to do the extra holes if needed. Since this is not an exact science, some adjusting is needed, and there's always room to make holes above or below. Same thing for this one, there's always room. I left a little bit of room to move it if needed. Always wearing my safety equipment is also very important. Wearing glasses, wearing gloves. For the welding, using the mask. This have also changed a lot since I did the welding my days, like 20 years ago. There are now some masks that are transparent and they darken it as you work. This is really great because it lets you work much better. So they're transparent, and once you start welding, they darken automatically as you work. Okay, and finally, I want to mention that my next step is to finish the third support. I'm working on that one right now, and then I'm going to paint these supports, so that will help these supports last longer when they're painted. I'm going to paint it black. And I just finally want to comment 2 things. First, the batteries. The lead is increasing in price a lot lately, and also the lithium batteries are coming down in price as well a lot. So the gap between lead acid and lithium is getting narrower. So I'm having second thoughts about using lead acid batteries, and I'm thinking maybe I could use lithium batteries if I can afford them. thank God this credit because they're still very expensive. But I'll make my decision in the next few minutes, in the next few days. Also, I'm creating a web page. I've received a lot of comments. The project is getting more interest than I originally anticipated, so I'm going to build a web page. The page is going to be at tampaelectriccar.com, and also I've been receiving many questions, and you can contact me in this page as well, and I'll be able to answer questions. I cannot really answer questions in the comment section of the YouTube, but I will be able to answer questions in my web page, Tampa Electric Car. I'll see you in the next video, and where I show you all the supports ready and painted, and the motor supported completely on the supports that I'm building. Thank you.